So I'm sitting here today with the guy behind the guy. Did you ever wonder what we're doing on South Ninth Street at WEPA, or why, or who started this? I'm John Tice. I'm one of the board members here at WEPA, and I'm sitting here with our founder, Rafael Torres. And I don't even know how long we've been working towards this together, you and I. It's at least 3 years.
At least 3 years, but
Okay, so somewhere 3 years or better
yeah.
when we first came together to talk about his vision for new opportunities here in what I like to call my Lebanon. So welcome, Rafael Torres. And
Thank you. Gracias.
we're going to talk a little bit. So tell us a little bit of your background, or what do you think the audience should know about WEPA, your passion for it?
I always blame my wife for WEPA and all of this, this journey that we're on. And I say that in a nice way. She was always concerned for her community. She was always involved, by the way, in different organizations, helping them to support the community as a whole. And then her being a social worker at Lebanon School District, elementary, either as a secretary or social worker. She played some important roles in the elementary school, middle school, and the high school. So a lot of even some of our current students who just recently graduated, by the way, last week, actually remember her when they were in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And for her, that's
That's
the
gonna be
coolest thing, that to have these younger students still recognize her, and the impact that she had for them, because she worked with the homeless.
I was going to say, she's behind the curtain. She
Yeah.
knows the struggles at home, the struggles just getting to a school concert.
She was boots on the ground.
Yep.
Boots on the ground. Anything related to social work, which is homelessness, food insecurity, truancy, whatever it was that the students were going through and their families, she was there. She was there to help them, to guide them through the community resources that are here. And this is a benevolent community. She's always said that herself. Even as she's born and raised, and they also had struggles, her family did. And there was community organizations supporting them also. So she always wanted to give back, whether it's volunteer time through Habitat for Humanity, some of the other local organizations that were startups.
Okay, I should probably be talking to Maribel and not you. I thought you
No,
were
but
more involved.
No, but that's that she, as a co-founder, what I did was I heard her struggles. We used to go through the same thing too. I'm originally from Lancaster, by the way, born and raised. And I remember when I first started talking to Maribel about this community, your community, Lebanon. That was 10 years ago, and she kept asking me these pertinent questions, and I was like, well, it's because they haven't tried this, they haven't tried that. I was trying to explain to her.
Now, people need to understand part of your background. You're currently you help find jobs for disabled veterans.
Well, now it's unemployed veterans.
Unemployed?
Yeah, it's both now. The federal government changed the rules for the better. It used to be that I was just providing services for disabled, service-connected disabled veterans, homeless veterans, those that didn't finish high school, those that are recently getting out. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
So here's my wife working with the general public. Here I am working with the veterans of Lebanon County, and have
It's like the
been
perfect storm.
for the
She
last.
understands the challenge, and you understand the lay of the land.
So 5 years ago, when COVID came, that we actually got to go home. Didn't go anywhere because no one went anywhere. Travel restrictions, and we just started just formalizing and saying what it was that we needed to do, not not on our own completely, because no man can do things alone. I
Not
mean,
of this scale.
no, it has to be a collaborative effort. It takes the village. And you can tell me time and time again that it doesn't, and I'll prove to you that it does. It takes the village. It's just that you have to find the willing, and that's where you came in. Actually, you were highly recommended by John Bauer, the former owner of Domino's Pizza on Cumberland. I was a fan of yours through Facebook, Lebanon PA Happenings, and I kept telling Maribel, "Who's this John guy? He's pretty cool. I like him," you know. And I did meet Mr. John Bauer, and he said, "Well, John is your guy. Talk to him about what you're doing." And express yourself. And then I remember approaching you. You were covering Salvation Army event for National Night Out,
Oh, yeah.
and I approached you and introduced myself, and that's where it all started for you and I. We're looking for the like-hearted people that it's not just the like-minded; it's the like-hearted, because you have to have heart. This is heart work. And when the going gets tough, it's the people with the bigger hearts and the resilient and all those things that can manage all the different components. And I always look for the like-hearted and the willing. And thank you for being part of those willing.
It's exciting, and it's kind of funny that we did pair up. We actually have very similar goals. Mine was coming from a different direction, just to support the community at large. And I ran into Rafael, and he's talking employment and training and opportunities, which were all the things that I've been working around all these years. We look for opportunities in my business, and we go and, what can we do to support them? I was happy to step up, and this is my idea of giving back to my community for my nearly 50 years in business around here. Everyone says Lebanon has changed. Well, it has, and so has everywhere else, and so has everyone else. But here we're really responding to the needs in that changing community, because you could go along and do nothing and watch it happen. But if you want to see the community change, you should have been here with us last week. We're both excited about this. This was the first full graduation that took place here at the WEPA Center. And this is about not quite a year's worth of graduates. And these are classes that we're bringing on. We've had the first. We've had a lot of firsts around here in the last 12 months or less.
Less.
And so with the partnerships that Rafael's been able to pull together, and with the guidance of our friends at Tech Centro in Lancaster, which we've all gotten to know one another pretty well. Rafael has a lot of background there with our friend Carlos and what they've done, but following their example in many ways and breaking some new ground, we've had just a lot of firsts. This represents at least 4 or 5 years of hard work where you were talking to, well, you say 10, so.
Well, 5 years. 5 years March. So COVID started March of 2020. So this year, March 2025, for my wife and I, was 5 years of planning, 5 years of doing outreach. And I'm glad that you mentioned our friends from Lancaster, where I'm from. We approached them during year number 2 of what we have
Right.
today, because we were looking for those willing partners, those like-hearted partners. You will always have people that will. You will always have people that won't, and then you have those that are on the fence in the middle, just watching you, watching to see that what you say you're gonna do, it's not what you say, it's what you actually do. It's evidence based when you can actually show them something. Not a lot of us have faith, like real faith, but we need to put work to our faith. so I had a lot of faith in what I was putting my time and investing my time in. But I also had to put the work to it.
And the amount of time that you had to put in and work had gone up, I'd say, significantly since you got this building.
Yeah.
It's like a one-man wrecking crew, but the coolest thing that we do here, or that Rafael leads here, we're here in the Elks in South 9th Street. It had been used for a dozen things over its lifetime. The last many years, it wasn't used for much, and there's a lot of disrepair that we had to tackle. It's the only project of demolition that I've ever been involved in when the first thing you do is clean it. And so the first thing we do here before we tear it apart is clean it.
I have plenty of stories about that. My grandmother in Puerto Rico, we were poor. But so my mom and my dad were living here in Lancaster, and they raised us here in the city of Lancaster. But I was always spending my summer months with grandmother in Puerto Rico. She had no running water. She had no electricity, no TV. She was 60 plus. And I can remember from the time that I was, 3 or 4 years old until about 15, spending a lot of quality time with her. She would say to me, Rafito, which is little Rafael, we can be poor, but we don't have to be a bunch of pigs. So what she meant by that was that we needed to take care of our clothes, our home, and just keep it clean and tidy, regardless of what our situation was. She made sure that cleanliness was the number one thing.
It doesn't cost anything
And it doesn't
extra to
get-
be clean.
No. So when I was able to get this building, I think about 2 or 3 weeks later, from getting the keys, I had a group. You were in it. I have pictures to prove it. I have folks from Northwest Bank that also came through. I had quite a few volunteers, and that's what we did. We cleaned it up, and then we demolished it.
Still the funniest thing I've seen us do. But that's the journey that it's been here. It's every time we start something, it's kind of a surprise in the approach. Sitting here with our Marine leader, and so we are moving forward. There is no question about that. It's just, really, we're cleaning? So we've had a few cleaning parties here before of
We got
major-
another one coming up, so I'm looking for volunteers to help me out with that one.
That'll be our next phase. That's got
Yes.
to be like phase 4 for this place.
Phase 4, which is downstairs in the basement for trades. We were blessed with a lot of donations, a lot of furniture that was actually going to wind up in the landfills. A group of us volunteers, we dedicated a couple of the last summers to rescue a lot of that furniture to see if we can repurpose it here. Actually, we're sitting. This furniture that we got here was
everything
all
about it.
repurposed,
There's actually amazing stuff that we've been able to pick up, and I mean beautiful. You look at this and you tell me this is repurposed furniture. I don't know where you shop, but we've had the support from the community, and you can call it cast-offs. It's the old one man's trash is another man's treasure. This place is really standing tall. We have so many people to thank, so many organizations, whether they gave us furniture, cash, computers, like-kind stuff. It just goes on and on. It takes a lot of supplies to do a dental program. Well, that came through, and it just keeps going.
Yeah.
The amount of support without any proof of concept has been amazing. We could say, well, in Lancaster they did this, but we didn't do it in Lebanon. And the one thing we've learned, everybody's watching. The people that really have come through to support us and this program, that's picking up momentum right now because of this.
Yeah.
We have proof of concept. We have 100% graduation rate here. Just learned that one last week at our graduation program. And I like this. We've had small ceremonies as each class finishes. But for many of the people in this picture, they came through here, they're learning English, so they can take a GED or high school equivalency exam just to have a high school credential, which we need to get into the rest of the programs here. So you look at this and say, oh, isn't that great they graduated this program? No, they might have graduated 3 times to get to this. Is that about right?
Well, so what you're referring to is like stacking. So you either stack your GED or your high school equivalency, and we had several that did that as they were completing the programs for either MA, CNA. We had then the stacking part for those that aren't completing their high school diploma or anything like that. We have been adding like CPR courses, AED courses, MedTech, direct provider. So they're leaving, some of
These
them.
folks aren't getting a diploma, they're getting a book. And it's fun to watch them flip through all their
Their
certificates.
portfolios, because typically when you go and get cert, most people is just one and done, that's it. Then you got to go to the next one. So our philosophy, or the way that my staff, which is Kay Littman, our director, Julie Ansel, the program manager, Zaida, our student navigator, my wife and I, the team, we sit down and we're thinking holistically. We're not just thinking the silo. The silo just keeps everything tied to themselves, one and one and one. No, we want to be able to sit there and have people come through our doors where we're embracing them. We're encouraging them to step their game up, and that will support them. We'll equip them with, all the different skills. You can call them soft skills, period. There's no such thing as a soft. These are
You need
just
them all.
names. You need all the skills. So we're not just sit there. While you're with us, we want to make sure that you do not leave empty-handed. I've always said that. Anyone who comes in through the door, it's not that we're going to give you, we're going to cut a check out for you. No, we're going to invest, and we're going to pour our time, our effort, our knowledge, and give you skills. So that way, when you actually leave and you get to this point where we're having a celebration, a graduation celebration, we're celebrating you and all of your all the time that you've invested in yourself. So the way that we make our community better is through education and training. It's okay. I mean, we know what happened during stimulus, right? A lot of people got stimulated during COVID, but they were broke. They were broke 30 days, 60, 90 days. Actually, they were broke within a week.
Yeah, within a week.
And
The thing is that we're seeing here, and my concern was things are getting tighter out there. All that loose cash has been soaked up. Many of the freebies that were floating around because of COVID with the excess cash or the bonuses, all that stuff is dried up. We're actually starting to see the employment picture tightening up. And I thought, we're going to come out of the chute here with our first graduates, and there won't be jobs. But with all these certificates, we're making not bulletproof people,
no,
but pretty resilient, that they can show up. Are you going to let the guy go that's new, or the one that has the least amount of abilities? And so these folks have a lot of tools in their belt when they come out the door here.
I've heard some stories from staff and that students have shared with them. Some of them have gotten like 4 or 5 job offers when they never experienced that. I actually had one that you and I know very well. She said, "Raf," and that's how she said, "Raf, 4 of them," and I had to pick between all 4 of them.
Now the secret sauce behind this is also a lady that wasn't getting any callbacks.
Nope.
She actually got a thanks maybe later. sat down for one more class in here, and that's not bulletproofing your resume, but do you know that there is such a thing called an AI proof resume?
Yep.
And Rafael led that training, took that lady, and how is that like a 3 hour thing that you do? Or
Well, yeah,
it's about a half a day.
yeah, about 3 hours.
But they'll come in and rewrite their resumes, and it's not pink paper and it's not scented. It's kind of bland.
Just
But you got to be ready for the AI review of your resume. Now, I hadn't heard of this one before until I heard this story. The cool part, the folks that said thanks but no thanks, I don't even know how they got the updated resume, but they got a hold of the updated resume, called her back in, and gave her a job.
the the same ones that rejected her.
Yeah, yeah.
Called-
And we're talking over a period of what, 2 weeks, maybe
Well,
3?
Yeah, probably a little
Yeah.
bit more. The same ones that rejected her actually, and she took the job offer from them.
Yeah, yeah. And she's pretty fired up.
Yeah, she's fired up.
So, just when you think you have it figured out, AI showed up, and it's entering everybody's world. And it's not that you need it to work or not work, but you don't want it to work against you. And right now, those tools are at work against you. You might think you've written a great resume, which she didn't need resume help. She had it all figured out until she ran into AI, and it slam dunked her and took the. That's also a lady that I think 2 different times thought she'd chuck it all in, just because it was just one more hurdle.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is we're able to say, you're ready for that, and you got her through that. And we're talking days. It was done, and within a week, she was out with that resume and got that offer.
Got all those hits.
So you got to follow through.
Yeah.
You can't just do this part and that part, and I've got this, and it's going to be pretty simple. It'll be different for me. That'd be really great. But the world's getting more selective, and
I wanted to share that this is my wife doesn't like the word team. She actually likes family over team, right? Because we do spend a lot of time together here
yeah,
amongst
your
ourselves.
car is always here.
Yeah, no, don't say that. Yeah, but my car's usually most of the time here. So we invest a lot of time amongst ourselves, and we share our expertise. Like nobody keeps it. I don't keep anything that I learn. I'm actually blessed that I'm able to attend, workforce conferences. I just came back from one last month from Hershey. I'm in Washington, D.C. with the other vets from across the United States, and we're always sharing best practices. And so when Maribel and I talked about WEPA, I said, those are the things that I want to bring back. And I want to make sure that I share the knowledge, and duplicate our efforts. Because a lot of times we're working hard or we're hard at work, but the workload gets lighter if you actually duplicate your effort, not you controlling it all the time or micromanaging it or just not sharing it all. So I'm excited. I don't just talk about it, John. I actually
You
sit
talk
in.
about it a lot.
Well, I do talk about it, but I actually share it. I share in the space. I was just here with our latest CNA graduates. Friday, we spent about 3 hours with them, getting them prepped with interview skills, resume. So I sit right next to them and teach them. I know there was 10 of them in the class, or 9, and I told the one, I'm going to finish yours. I'm going to review yours. Now I need you to review your
Teach the teacher.
teach the teacher. Yeah, and she did that. And by the time everybody got, the services and the reviews that they needed, and they were able to, do what they needed to do to keep moving forward. So I always said that the way that they pay it forward, all of our efforts for the board of directors, us as founders, it's each one teaches one. Share it with your family, share it with your friends. Don't keep it to yourself. And you'll see that the community will get better. We're seeing the results already. So
You know, there's there's so many cool alliances have come out of this. You know, I walked in here one day because I do drop in quite a bit. I like to see the progress. But if you ever want to see somebody that is really committed to make a change, come in and see our students in class. I say that all the time. I'll walk through here, there's 2 or 3 classes going on, and you know, there's no fooling around. These are adults. Again, just read a story of a lady that quit a job to come to class here because that's what she knew she needed to do to manage her time, to make it through the class. And it was such a, I mean, we see this all the time here right now. This is virtually every story. How about a mom with 7 children is sitting here in class, and all I pictured was the husband at home wrapped up in duct tape because the kids overran him and they wanted something. But you hear those stories and then you think, how tough is your life? And what would you do if you really wanted to do something? Well, would you quit a job? Would you leave 7 kids behind so you could come in and improve yourself? And my favorite thing that she said, I'm doing it to show them it could be different, which is the piece we all know, but they haven't seen this one modeled, and she's modeling that change in her family. So
I'm excited for
it gets me choked up all the time to meet these people, watch them go through the steps, and if there's any encouragement, our lady with the AI resume, we bump into each other all the time, and it becomes little mini coaching sessions because I've caught her on her bad days, and she's a powerful lady.
Yeah.
She's not a young kid either. She's making a big change. She's got quite a plan, and it's great. And everybody's got challenges at home. Your situation is not that bigger or worse than anybody else. This room is full of them, and I think that's actually, now that I say it, maybe one of the things that makes it really work. You're in a room with peers that are, you can look around and see, if you put all your troubles on the table, you'd probably take your own back.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of that in here.
Going through.
And the families, the way they turned out for graduation, because it takes them all to get a student through here.
That was amazing. We had in attendance between students of about 40 or 50 that were able to show up for graduation, and our room was full, over 200 plus guys.
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing. It's everything that I wanted for or worked for in the last 5 years. I told my wife, Maribel, I said, you know, I want to see the first graduation. I want to see the first group to get on stage, to be in their cap and gowns. It's not that we're going to stop or that we've already reached the pinnacle. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
But we at least wanted to show people that it's possible, and of course show our donors, our volunteers, and celebrate with the community as a whole, you know, everything that we've been working towards these last 5 years. So we're in it to win it. We need your support. We need you to call us, email me, stop by and see how you can help us. Either teach a class, we'll take any type of donations, donate your time, donate your resources.
We always have another cleaning crew coming.
Yeah,
At the very least.
there's always work to do here. So pay it forward, pay it back, become our future ambassadors. We got about 50, 60 ambassadors that are going to be spreading the word and sharing their experiences.
And what we're doing is we're bringing people into the workforce that are really needed. Mm-hmm. I mean, everything that we've done so far has been a needs-based. We've been gathering information on people and the marketplace to know where we want to go. And it's actually changed 1 or 2 times along the way.
Yeah.
show up one Saturday and we're doing forklift training in the back parking lot.
There you go. Whatever it takes.
And so, do you have to be on a list for a long time? What do you have to do? You have to show up. You have to let us know that you're out there. You have to show up, get in our system so we can put you at the proper place. You just don't show up and say, dude, I want to be a nurse's aide.
Yeah.
We might need to work on your skills for language. We might need to work on your GED equivalency, because there are standards all through this program. But the coolest thing I saw, I show up for forklift training. There's a young lady in training here. She's in this country 60 days legally.
Legal.
She did not speak English. She was here in a class to be a forklift operator, and by Saturday afternoon, she had a certificate because you did something that was kind of cool. We did bilingual forklift training. So was he a union guy, the gentleman training in the class? I forget now.
He was a
I asked.
CTNC instructor
So he's
for Career Technology Center.
so he's already an instructor. He came in. He's teaching in English. We've got an interpreter helping with the class, and watch that young lady handle a forklift. It was kind of cool. I thought, wow, this kid hit the ground running. She's ahead of so many people. And the thing I learned about forklift, there are certificates and there are certificates. The one we're training here is portable. So if you go work at ABC and you want to go to XYZ to work, it transfers. It'll open a few doors for you. So we're not just knocking people out here and saying, oh, good luck, here's their certificate. These are transferable. It's a really quality education, and we're partnering with so many great partners around the area. Hack has been great with us.
Yep.
Well, you know them all better than me, but we have so many alliances that he's built who are excited to be here. We're expanding their presence. We're expanding Hack's presence in the community right
Absolutely,
now.
yeah.
And they're bringing us great instructors. The lady that taught phlebotomy, which is drawing blood, I loved her attitude.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Because she was no nonsense
She was no nonsense.
all the way.
And they loved her.
And, she just transferred a lot of confidence to her students.
Yeah.
Because I was the first person to test one of the students and allow them to draw blood from me. And she did a great job. But we've got the student working with me. We've got the instructor right over her shoulder going, say this, do this, just to help prompt her. And
I wanted to share some updates for future projects here at WEPA. So I just got several weeks ago our architect plans for the ground floor. It used to be the old Elks Club bowling alley. We've since gutted it out. I was waiting for the floor plans, so I did receive those. We're looking at 4 classrooms downstairs. We're looking at building trades, which is basic carpentry, plumbing, electric. We can do HVAC with the space that we have down there. We also got approached by GAF, which is the roofing company. We received a donation in Myerstown. They want to expand the school and have a component of the instructions here at WEPA. We're also looking at robotics. I was approached by the, not sure what the name of it is off the top of my head, but the Eastern Regional Director and I are in conversations to bring robotics into WEPA and teach that. So I'm excited for the future. We just need, we need help. Your expertise, I don't know it all, but I'm hoping to make the connection with those that do.
And so one of the things we like to do is respond to the needs that are out there. So maybe you're an employer that's watching this and said, I could use people trained in this. If you're not on our radar, we can't help you. But we would love to be your training arm. Let us know what you need. We might be providing it. We're probably lining it up very shortly. But we don't know all the need. Come in and tell us what you need, and we can add it to our list. Because the list, here's the cool part of our story today. So the funding is getting broader and broader for us because we now have what many people call proof of concept. Will this school work? Will you graduate people? You have no idea the eyes that have been on this man and this program, and he's been delivering right down the line, which takes a little pressure off over here, and then new things walk in the door. We're sitting in the Francis Dixon Healthcare Training Suite. Now, Dixon Foundation has been around this area doing great work for quite a while. We've been trying to get money out of them for a while, and we had a lot of nice meetings, but just recently, with the outcome of our classes and this graduation, that brought in the dollars that helped build part of this out.
Yep.
And is working to build out more training for us because we are solidly on point with their mission, which is to educate and uplift people. But we had to prove ourselves. And so congratulations to you and the team.
Well, thank you
You
for being
passed,
part of that.
you raised the bar, you hit it. The goal, and we were talking before we hit record on this. I love being part of things where we raise the bar. I don't like to lower it so you get a trophy and everybody goes home. We want you to go home with your trophy and a job offer. We have 100% graduation so far, which just means if you show up here, we're making a commitment to you to get you where you want to go. Your commitment is to show up and do the work. And it is not easy and it's not for everybody, but the people that are riding through it are coming out so far ahead of where they ever meant to be. But they know that they're an example for their family. Like, we're being watched here to produce results because it took a lot of funding to get us this far. You still have to go home as a student and tell your family, like I'd have to go home and tell my wife how my day went, and, how did it go? Did you follow through? Whatever. So do these other folks. But they've got significant others. They've got children. Everybody looking at them going, how did it go? And what we saw last week, which I don't think made the picture, the families, the balloons, the flower.
Oh, we got tons of pictures.
There's pictures everywhere. But the bouquets, I watched a family walking in, just like any other graduation, they're bringing bouquets of flowers for the graduate. And we're talking adult students. This is very cool.
No.
Because there's going to be a tremendous change. In my time working with the downtown community, the number one thing we have as a challenge as a city overall is a low average income per household. We're working at the baseline of that to improve that. The jobs that we're creating here are base jobs. Every job that we send them out, those jobs have the ability to create up to 6 more jobs because somebody's got to support them.
Yeah.
So we need a grocery store. We need all these other services. There's nothing wrong with those jobs. But the jobs we create here lead to other jobs, lead to higher averages for the area. And so all of you that are sitting out there going, why don't we have a Red Lobster in town? Well, we don't have the average income to do it. I work out of Hershey and Lebanon and many other areas. Hershey wasn't able to land a number of restaurants because, believe it or not, their numbers don't support the same thing that you're trying to bring here because they have tourist trade. And so it's hot today and tomorrow they're gone and then it's crickets. So you don't have to go real far to see how those economics work out in that part of the world. You want bigger, better things. Well, That's what we're here to do, is improve the lives, which improves the city, which improves our numbers, and just it's a great spiral to be in because we're spiraling up.
Of course. Yep.
And the numbers
So-
that we get to see and know the impact of these jobs, as he knows, it's the only page that I carried around for a while. Why do this? What's the impact? Well, for lives and pride and so forth, that's certainly part of it. But the economics that run communities, this is feeding level one, which only makes us grow and makes us stronger. We lost the steel industry. Steel industry was responsible for everything here, steel and aluminum. And when they all left town, this area it didn't go to sleep, it just hunkered down. We didn't go to any spiral. We never went down the tubes. But we're rebuilding from a really resilient base with the stuff that makes it work. And that is, you got to feed the economic engine. But with Rafael's approach, he's kind of working with the individual. The outcome is the thing that we measure, and the folks giving us support, they measure those things. So I'm here to keep them honest and keep him moving forward with that in mind. But we never lose sight of the students, and the students get it. And I love the fact that you're doing the trainer philosophy with them too. You can't do it all alone.
You gotta teach the man how to fish.
And that's the idea all the time. So who knows how far this is going to go? I don't know, but you're off to a great start.
Thank you.
And it's really been very exciting to be part of, because again, it's part of my mission. It supports my community that I've lived in my whole life. So I do not take it very well when people like to trash talk Lebanon. We get up and do something. So that's why I'm sitting here with him. We got together and happened to be working in the same direction.
Thank you.
I'm not so big on cleaning, but I will show up and help him. What else do they need to know about this place? The future is bright. We got plans to improve the basement. That requires a full-blown elevator.
We got the plans for that.
We got the plans, but we got the cash in the pocket. Can always use more, because you're not going forward on these programs here without the funding in place. No one wants to talk to you about how great it's going to be.
Yeah.
It might get easier next year. You never know.
That's the goal.
So what we need you to do is show up. Tell us what you need. Tell us where you want to go. We've got folks in here that'll put you on a path. So the person that signed up first, that's been in our system the longest, how long have they been working with us to come in here?
We don't know, because it depends on the individuals, see if they're still around, if they're still in the city of Lebanon or in the county. Their situation's changed.
Yeah, things do change.
Yeah,
This has been a couple years, but we've
been out there. We're actually starting a new CNA class next week. We're recruiting for a medical assistant to start sometime over the summer. And we're actively recruiting. So if you don't answer your emails, if you don't answer your phone call, then I don't
might
know
miss
how
your
else
shot.
I don't know how else to get a hold of you.
We only have so many seats. We only have so many scholarships, and we also have a few bucks to spend on this place. Took a roof. We're looking at a heating system. We're redoing the basement.
We're investing in the building.
Yes. Yeah, these are all investments in this building. And this is not a one-week opportunity. This is a long-term goal, and what he's been looking to build all along is a legacy, just a long-term program.
Yep.
You're off to a good start so far. We have partners like SCORE that keep us on track with planning, which I wouldn't say that's my strong suit, but
It's okay.
that's okay. We all work together. We're all working towards the same goal. There is so much support out there if you want to do something and get it done. The cash is harder to find. You can find people with ideas, then there's support, and then there's supporters. And we've been real fortunate. I don't even know what the total is we're up to that we've spent here so far. But the support for this program has been tremendous, because as I've told him all along, this is like the perfect storm. We need workers, they need training, they may need language skills, they may need high school equivalency. And the two top things, equivalency, high school equivalency and English training, are constantly our biggest silos, as you like to say it. They're our largest silos, and we're working at that all the time because that feeds the other programs so that you can qualify and get in. The people we've met that are already skilled and capable that can't get a job because their expertise isn't recognized in the United States.
We have lots of that.
There's just a lot of that. So everybody needs to go through the same path because the criteria is the same for everybody. We need to know your challenge so we can be helpful to you. If you want to improve your lives, keep watching our Facebook page, watch our website, because we'll be featuring those stories. They're already out there. If there's one you don't relate to, one is coming, because I'm trying to grab everybody I can and have them tell us what they need. Be part of that story. Let us help improve your situation because you get to do the work. We've built the conduit and the opportunities are here. The scholarships are here. But we were talking about some situation. We don't take this lightly, as he certainly doesn't. You don't mess with a Marine because if there's a criteria, it means you too. And the standards here are a little tough, but we're delivering a lot of value, as you've heard. And that's where we get to hang our hat. We're turning out a pretty good product right now, which the world is starting to see now that we've got real graduates applying for real jobs. And, there's just some cool stories. Our man Hector that I met here, these are cool stories. It's fun to make this impact, or at least to be able to facilitate it. I let everybody else do the work. I do the promo. But come in and check us out. Watch through our past events.
John, I want to publicly thank you. I want, those that follow us to recognize all the efforts that you also invested in us.
I have a weird skill set, so I fill in a weird gap.
All skill sets are needed. So
Yeah, it takes it all.
the
But we've had so much great support, so thanks to the community. You're letting us to live out our passion, our mission. For me, this was I'm going to step down from this management job, and I'm going to have some spare time. So I turned it on the community, and I've been working at that for 5 years, and we just happened to get put together to bring this to our Lebanon City and County. Come in and see what we're doing here, because it's really pretty cool.
Yep.
And you want to see equipment, you want to see opportunities, we've got the stuff. The support has been tremendous. Be part of that story. Come in and take advantage of it. Grow your skills, because this is a skills world. So come in and skill up. Get ready for what's happening. We didn't touch on AI yet. We're not really training
gotta save that for later.
I think that'll take care of itself. Come in and see what we're doing. Rafael, thanks so much. Thanks for your leadership.
Thank you.
And if you made it this far in the video, you're doing pretty good. The two of us do talk a lot. But thanks for your support, Lebanon City, Lebanon County. And watch as we continue to tell this story and bring those opportunities.